Hey Cancer, how's it going? Welcome or welcome back. We're going to get into this full reading for you. That means this looks exactly like a personal reading would. Okay, so we're going to lay out the Lenormand, which is a straight line. We're just going to read from left to right here. We'll put some tarot on top of that, and then we'll wipe the board clean and get into spirit team messages from your spirit team, okay, from direct source. All of the information on how to book a reading that looks just like this specifically for you is in that description. Okay, bottom of the deck here, we have the letter. Could be some communication coming, could be looking into some things. Okay, with the book there, I'm going to pull that one. Yeah, and under that is the magnifying glass. So we're definitely looking into something. Could be a topic of study or diving in. Let's see. Okay, we've got the key here. Could be unlocking some sort of information. Let us see. Something about a house. You could be purchasing a house. We've got the key to the house. Love that. Okay, center of the reading is the snake. So you could have your spidey senses going off about somebody. Usually that's like a slippery tongue, somebody that we can't trust. That's not with every deck, the snakes, but with this one it is. And we have the whip, which is about hard work. Okay, you could be stressing yourself out here. And we have love. Okay. Very specific message. Okay, someone could definitely feel as though this is a personal reading for them. This is a small community here as well, so please drop a like if you're here. There's lots of videos on the channel, but has yet to grab traction, so I appreciate all the support. Just a like makes a big difference. Okay, what's going on with this key and the house here? What are we looking at? Okay, Eight of Wands, quick, fast-moving energy. Okay, could be acting a little impulsive here. Let's see. High Priestess, trust your intuition. This is like that moment where you walk into a house and you're like, okay, I could see myself here. Yes, it's like trusting your gut. Okay. And then the Fool, taking the leap on it. Again, right under the snake is impulsive action. Okay. Let's dive deeper. We'll get plenty of cards on the table before we come to any conclusion. Working hard, we've got the Knight of Pentacles, which is slow moving energy. So I feel like somebody here, it's a struggle to try and slow down, okay? And Queen of Swords under that love card. Um, yeah, it could be taking a moment to think very critically about something here. Page of Swords and the Devil. Interesting combo, especially with all of this. Could be looking into something, trying to find fault. Interesting combo. We'll set that aside and come back to it because if I know cards, it's going to come back out. Okay. Don't pull the table off. All right, let's continue on. We'll get some more clarification on what's going on here with the storyline. Let me know if this is a purchase of a house. It really feels that way. Okay, what do we have to say about the key and this fast-moving energy? It's almost like a feeling of being rushed into something here. Yeah, Ten of Wands. Again, it's almost like taking time feels difficult. Okay, difficult to slow down. It could also be that this is needed really quickly. So it's like, I'd love to take my time, but I can't. I can't take my time with this. It needs to happen now. Knight of Cups. So emotions are involved. Emotions are running high. So be careful of that because that High Priestess energy, you really need to be centered in order to make big decisions here. King of Pentacles with the Fool and the Snake. Okay, this feels like someone else here. I don't know, this kind of feels like coercion to me. And there's love. Okay, so you could be in a relationship with someone who's trying to push you to do something you don't want to do, push you to build something you don't necessarily want to. You need to get back to yourself with this Hermit here. Grounded, High Priestess energy again. We've got the Five of Swords here, which is interesting energy, that snake energy, right? So let's find out I'm gonna pull that because I know how I am, and I'll shuffle it back in and then be upset that I can't find it. Okay, so let's see what we have. Ace of Pentacles. There's definitely a money factor here, and I don't like the way that it's coinciding with the love aspect here. Yeah, it's almost like someone's saying take this chance or else. Five of Pentacles and the Fool, right? Like take this chance or else. And then the Page of Pentacles or Princess of Pentacles is giving me like, hold on a minute, wait a minute, right? Because Pentacles are slow moving. You're like, wait a minute, let me think about this. And you're trying to look back into your past experiences and say, is this the best decision for me? Is this what's truly meant for me? Okay. Interesting so far. Six of Pentacles or Six of Cups comes back again, looking through the past, making sure this is a good decision, taking stock. Nine of Swords. Okay, well, whatever this decision is, it weighs very heavily. Nine of Swords, Ten of Wands is not bright, fun, free-flowing energy. That's feeling defeated and burdened by something. What else do we have for Cancer here? And then the Nine of Cups. Okay. Very conflicting energy here. Nine of Swords is like I've been stabbed in the back enough times that I already know. I'm about to fall down here. And then Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment, but it can also represent living in like a fantasy land. Okay, so interesting that that's right there under the High Priestess. What else do we have for Cancer? What is this snake with the Fool? The Sun, which is ultimate happiness. What is going on here, Cancer? Is this like a false sense of happiness? Is this, I need this in order to be happy? This must come to pass in this certain exact way, or else I'll never believe in happiness again. More emotion running high with the King of Cups. We've already seen the Knight of Cups, and then we saw basically the Knight of Pentacles with the King of Pentacles. So there's something here maybe about like proving oneself. Could be you or someone you're connected to, but it something feels like an emergency, and I don't understand the emergency. Page of Pentacles, King of Wands, Ten of Cups. Yeah, so again, it's like Page of Pentacles, slow moving energy, but it's about things that we can touch, taste, feel, smell, etc. Things in the physical, right? And it's about taking things slow. And then the King of Wands is the fastest. No, the Swords is fastest, but this is the most passionate knight and king, right? So is led by glory, victory, another impulsive character, chaotic, spontaneous, but again, it can be taken as impulsive as well. So again, these are opposite energies, okay? And then we've got the Ten of Cups, which is ultimate fulfillment and happiness, like actually achieving the goal. So this is a very interesting read. I'm going to go ahead and take another for over here since those came out as a group. Ace of Swords, again, you're very, very focused on getting to the bottom of something. Okay, there's something about finding the information and finding the truth out. Okay, this is about the truth. And we've got the Hanged Man, which is taking time out to get a broader perspective. Okay, what is this Queen of Swords with the lovers here? Four of Swords, needing to heal because somebody walked away. So this could be like a past situation where it's like your current situation is looking a little bit too much like your past situation, okay? Another page. Okay, so there could be kids involved. There's a lot of people here, which is just interesting. We'll do some clarifying here because we need to get to the bottom of this story. I feel the same. I feel like we need to get to the bottom of this. Okay. So what's going on with this key in the house? Page of Pentacles again. Okay, so I think this is a slow down. And again, this is research. They're opening up a book here. And we had the King of Wands again. Interesting. And they've got the microphone, which I think is interesting. Okay, so it's almost like they're taking center stage. The King of Wands will always take center stage. And then we've got Three of Swords and King of Pentacles with the Eight of Wands in the middle. Okay, so it's like this could be the past situation where I'm hearing that what is the saying? Bitten once, twice shy. Something about that. But it's almost like being bit by a snake, right? Once bitten, twice shy, I think. I'm not sure. But anyways, it's almost like, yeah, and there's the Ace of Swords again, the truth underneath, and then the Lovers. With Judgment, Seven of Swords, yeah, there's some apprehension here. Okay, and I don't blame you for that apprehension. Specifically when there's somebody like this king. I just dropped all the cards on the floor. Okay, it's almost like the fact that there's somebody in your vicinity here that almost needs to have center stage, needs to have the final say. There's something about that that rubs you the wrong way because you want to be a part of this decision making as well. Wheel of Fortune, turning of the tides, and Six of Pentacles, equal give and take. So you want to have an equal say-so in what goes on here. Okay, this is your life too, type of a thing. It's almost like someone is very adamant about wearing the pants, which makes you uncomfortable. And it would me too. Like, I agree. Seven of Wands. Yeah, so you're on guard here. You're like, okay, hold up, wait a minute. Isn't that a song? Hold up, wait a minute. Okay. Hanged Man. Yeah, you really just want a new perspective here. A new perspective on where this could be going, who's coming with. It's almost like you're asking those questions. It's like this person, somebody here, is asking you to jump on a spaceship and go to Mars, and you're kind of like, who's all going? Who's going to be there? Am I going to be protected the whole way? Right? Queen or High Priestess here at the bottom. So let's see here. What's going on with this snake King of Pentacles with the Fool here? Death and rebirth. Okay, so I think this is probably someone from the past here. That could be the past situation. Temperance, Four of Wands. That's a lot of trust here. Four of Wands, it takes four pillars to make four walls to a house, right? So this is about stability and feeling as though there's structure. And then Temperance is patience. Yeah, so again, it's like, okay, we're building a future together. Fine, good, great. But I need to feel safe, secure, and a part of this in order to feel safe in it. And here's the Nine of Swords again, meaning that there's sleepless nights, there's upset, and there's the King of Wands again, saying, just do it, just do it, just do it, just trust me. 3 times for the King of Wands. Okay, so I think that the story could be that this King of Pentacles is in the past, has taught you that, true happiness can sometimes be this sort of pipe dream. And when you trust that person and put your love into it and then make investments, it can blow up in your face, so to speak. Okay, so Six of Swords. You could be on the fence here about whether or not you want to move in this direction. Okay, Nine of Wands, you're feeling on guard. We've already seen the Seven of Wands. Yeah, so it's like this stop, wait a minute. That's a song. I'm not sure what the song is, but Page of Swords is gathering more information. Yeah, stop, wait a minute till I can gather more information. I mean, there's a lot of love here. We've got love on the table several times. But I'm kind of getting like love and trust is not the same thing. I need a lot of balance here. I need a lot of information. And so that could even be somebody that you're dealing with because that feels more like an air sign than a Cancer. But either way, I'm just getting apprehension in general, okay? Three of Wands, another waiting card. Okay. Stop, wait a minute. Something, something, 10 toes. I might have to look up those lyrics. Okay, so sometimes these lyrics bring a little bit more to the reading. So it says, wait a minute, get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we stand it on business. I'm a big stepper, underground methods, blah, blah, blah. Street terror, product of your errors, pushing culture, baby. Got that product you can't measure. Trendsetter, the one who get her. Can't say that. Okay, hold on. That's how you make the money pile for everyone involved. If you don't deserve a cut, then we gonna cut them off. Okay, that's kind of what I'm getting here is that, okay, RIP, it's in your memory. We carry on. When I die, they will not bury me, not what I want. Yeah, pour my ashes in the river, blah, blah, blah. That's how we know that we'll carry on. Okay, so there's something about somebody in your world trying to kind of like show who's boss, show where the money's at, show how to get it, show. There's just this energy here of I'm going to show you how it's done. And there's something about that that really irks you. And I don't blame you there because it is a little weird. So what's with all this lover connection here? What's the lovers? With the Ace of Pentacles, that's what my worry is there's too many pentacles around the lover situation. It's like drowning it out. Okay. Four of Coins. All right. So a holding on type energy, gluttonous energy. And that is kind of what I'm getting here. Somebody is a little bit gluttonous and um almost selfish when it comes to money. We've got the Star and the Empress. Yeah, you're, and then the Four of Wands and the Sun with the High Priestess. Okay. Yeah, you're a little bit more mature than I think this person gives you credit for here. Okay, Star and the Empress. I know who I am. I know what my sort of calling is. I know that my divine feminine energy is very valuable. Four of Wands, which we've seen before, it's like, stability, it's celebration. Sometimes people will say this is marriage. And then we've got the Sun, which is here as well, and High Priestess we've seen before. So, yeah, it's like I don't want to be undermined when it comes to what I know and how I know things work. Okay. So, it's it's a feeling of being underestimated, I feel. Okay. Nine of Cups. Yeah, it's like you know what you want and you're not going to settle. And this person is really just kind of obsessed with victory in a strange way, being victorious, maybe even focusing a little too much on perception, like outside perception of them. And there's the King of Coins again. So, uh, don't love that. It's almost like this person is very proud of what they do. And there's nothing wrong with being proud about that, but it can become too much sometimes with the Seven of Swords, kind of that backstabby type energy here. Um, yeah, and then the Six of Cups again. It's like I've seen this play out already. I've already seen this in my past. I'm not bringing this to my future. So I think you're putting your guard up, even though you love this person, having strength about moving forward too quickly, and your intuition is intervening. Okay, Chariot, Two of Cups, and Strength, and then the Eight of Wands. So it's like, move forward with me very quickly because I love you. And you're kind of like I'm gonna think about this and get grounded. And they're like, no, no, move quickly with me. So very interesting energy. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the oracle portion. Let's see what your spirit team has to say about this. Okay, so now we're going to use the tablecloth that you see here. We're going to draw a compass, so we'll start in the center, and I'll let you know as we get there what each position means. Okay, so in the center here, and then the past and lessons learned is here. This is your goals and aspirations and your mindset, like what you're focused on right now. And then the north quadrant here is spirit team messages, what spirit wants you to do. And then we have forward movement into the future there. Okay, so right now, bottom of the deck advice is to keep your allies very close to you, gather your loyalties, rely on your friends and community, okay? Right here in the center, yeah, big decisions. Interesting, right? Big decision here. In the past, the steady beat of the drum, okay? This is about, again, getting back to yourself and trusting yourself and your intuition, okay? It takes a steady beat to be able to layer music on top of that, so you have to be of clear mind. Okay, so let's see what's going on in your mindset here. Expansion with the storyteller. So, yeah, you are definitely looking to expand your life and to ascend to new heights, okay? But again, it's almost like at what cost here? Okay, spirit team message says to get back to basics here, inner peace. Um, yeah, another nod here to needing to ground yourself. Sending up a prayer as well, okay? So like give some of this to the source, God, the divine. And then moving forward here, spirit is saying to don't take things too seriously and don't overthink. Okay, so we'll see what that's about. I think that is more, like I mentioned before, it's like there's this renaissance happening with your idea of happiness. Okay, let's see what we have here. We're just going to keep going around the circle. So center, okay, closure. Yeah, so there's something about closing out an old cycle in order to get to this new one. Maybe something to do with that past person needs to be rectified, or there needs to be some sort of closure with a past person, or, with buying a house, we have to sell that one before we get to the next one. And inspiration for the past here. And you see that the light is sort of coming from her chest and her hand. So you do know that you have this ability to tap into yourself here. And you're focused at this point on your well-being, getting back to a really steady way of thinking, like clearing your mind, making sure that your health is in top-notch condition. Again, making decisions from a clear and grounded space is very important at this time. Okay, Spirit says family. Okay, so that's an interesting duplicate to bringing your allies closer, right? So relying on your family here, relying on external sources that you trust. This could also be something about like relocating to get closer to family or relocating in order to benefit a family. Okay, moving forward, we've got the life purpose card here. Yeah, you've got a lot of work, really good, high quality work here on this planet, okay? And they want you focused on that, financial health and prosperity. Okay, so what I'm getting here is that you know that your life purpose is going to bring you a lot of prosperity here. It's almost giving like, I don't need someone else to provide for me. I will do so myself. Just go ahead and watch me. Okay. Beauty and empowerment, like it's your feminine nature that's able to build. And I feel like if you're connected to somebody who's uncomfortable with that or doesn't believe in that, they might be saying something like only hard work can make the dream work. And you're like, no, just wait, just let me get in balance here and I'll show you. Okay, so there's actually a lot that you could teach this person or you could teach people about creation and manifesting, okay? fallen angel, spiritual narcolepsy. Yeah, it's almost like you were knocked off your path a little bit here. And now a big decision is going to determine whether or not you get back on that track, okay? And here we've got ancestral wisdom. So I did mention something about moving back to somewhere where family is, or something about moving with the family. Also, I mentioned too, if it is buying a house, which let me know if it is, because it did feel like that in the past tarot portion. But what I'm getting there is like, with the high priestess, it's like once you step on that ground, you know that it is meant for you. Okay, ancestral wisdom. It's like you're being led and guided to be at the right place at the right time. Okay, mindset wise, where are we there? Connectivity. So again, like community, keeping your allies very close to you. And it's not just it's not just for a means to an end, right? This is actually being connected to people because you love people. So I feel like that's the difference between you and someone else is, the connectivity is not just to have a multitude of business partners, it's to have a real sense of community and support. Okay, spirit team says, yeah, there's been some sort of pain here that you've witnessed and you've gone through. And transmuting that means that we, transform pain into power. Okay, and that could be a superpower of yours that you're unlocking at this point. 222 could be significant. We had 22 there, and this is a 2. And this is an interesting card because we have the Two of Swords, and that's where it says choices and consequences. But the Feast of Plenty, as I understand it, is like the prosperity piece of like having your needs manifested and being in harvest season. Okay, so both of those could be true. Oh, there's another 2-2 here. Lots of 2s and 3s. Okay, so the Divine Matrix with a 2-4. Okay, interesting. So there is something about interconnectivity. This could be some sort of a community project. This could be something that would give you the option to benefit a community, something like that. Okay, let's see. And it's almost like the people around you just don't quite understand. It's almost like there's just impossible to get through to somebody or someone or a group here. Okay, wisdom. Yeah, we've seen wisdom already. Again, it's like your past and what you've been through and what you've seen is altering your decisions now in a really good way. It's like you're finding direction in a new way for yourself. I feel like now is a good time to be very selfish here. Yeah, freedom, breaking away from something, flying out of some sort of a window here. Yeah, it's giving looking outside the box as well. It's like I don't feel the need to confine myself in something small. There's something that feels very constricting, okay? And we've got flexibility here. So this kind of reminds me of that humor and opposites over there, not taking things so seriously. And I think that's a big part in your decision-making process as well. And that's something that I would advise someone to do too, is when you throw a coin up in the air, what are you secretly hoping that it lands on, right? Because again, you're looking to expand your overall ascension in life, in prosperity, in growth, but you know that you need to have a certain level of inner balance and balance with your community. And it's not to say that you're trying to appease anybody. It's more like, well, when people support what I'm doing, it's awfully a lot more sorry, it's awfully easier to go about what I'm doing when I know that I have that support, right? Okay. And it's more difficult when you don't have the support of others. Okay, Spirit says relaxation, again, not taking things too seriously, taking time out. There's a definite need to take some time out right now. In Taoism, there's a concept of non-doing, non-action, because we're always taught to just push, 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 go, go, go. I'm definitely getting that right now is a time to relax because that's where you get your clear mind and there's that illumination. And that's what we really want is that Ace of Swords clarity. Okay, and then simplicity. I think at the end of the day, you're going to choose the things that make you feel the lightest. Okay, we've got a lot of birds here, which could be significant. Stand still at the bottom of the deck here and taking risks. I don't feel that you're afraid to take risks or to make big leaps or to take big action, right? But it needs to be an action that at the end of the day, is going to result in making you feel good. Okay, supported, relaxed, and open to the next step without feeling as though you're signing yourself up for something that you may regret later. And, that is your intuition. That's your intuition saying it's a good time to take a step and manifest what you truly want, not something that will do. Okay. It's like going to a wedding and then you ask the husband, how was the cake? And he says, it's okay. And you're like, what do you mean it's okay? Okay, all right. So again, you're not going to manifest something that you feel is going to, propel you down to a brick wall. We've got this fallen angel, wisdom, somebody kind of going down, closure, and rock bottom. So it's almost like there was a situation in the past, or it could be ongoing, where you feel like this is not headed in a direction that you're comfortable with, okay? And you have to, yeah, stop the clock. Just simply stop the clock. What's the hurry? What's the rush? Why, you know, it's almost like everything about the conversations that you have with your person is like, why would you say that? Like, it just raises up the hairs on the back of your neck and gives you this feeling that maybe it's not all good vibes. Okay. So you definitely need to trust that. Protecting treasure here. There's that tiny, tiny little umbrella that barely even covers her. Okay. So yeah, it's like there's someone in your life trying to convince you of something. It's like the treasure is actually underneath her. Okay. The umbrella is not the most valuable thing here. And it seems to me like there's someone trying to convince you that their umbrella is the best umbrella ever. And, there's going to be golden riches that shower upon you once you dedicate to said umbrella. And you're over here like, I'm actually standing on the treasure. Okay. Right? We've seen that here. It's like, I'm standing on the treasure. I know what it is that I'm doing, and I know that, taking the leaps that I want to take are going to actually lead to a lot of prosperity and abundance, and I just know it. And they're like, well, where's the proof? What do you mean? Show me the receipts, How does this give me an ROI, return on investment, right? And you're like, you're just going to have to trust me because I know. Like, what do you mean? And you're like, high priestess energy. I just know. And they're like, that makes no sense. And you're like, I don't care. I'm telling you, because you're sitting on a gold mine. Like, it's something about your ideas, it's something about how you facilitate your ideas. There's something very valuable about you. And it seems like you're questioning that here, or somebody is questioning that about you. And that should absolutely make you feel uncomfortable. There's an owl there, which represents seeing through illusions. Okay. Oh, we just had illumination there. I'm telling you, it's time to slow down here. Make a choice, slow and steady. 3, 1, and 2 add up to a 3. And this here into the unknown. Okay. So you don't have to have all the answers right off the bat in order to feel safe taking a leap. What you do need is for your intuition to be on board. Okay, so again, it's like standing on that ground and feeling the ground beneath your feet, you'll know that that's the right house. Standing at that altar, okay, and looking into that man's eyes, you're going to know if that's the man. But you know that you cannot be sitting at the real estate office with the papers in front of you before you make that choice. And you can't be at the altar facing that man before you make that choice. Like, you have to get closure on the chaos part of it, relax, take a step, have a spa day, go out into nature, what have you, meditate, right? Because that council fire is about meditation. Yeah, to know that you're making the right choice here with the hawk. The hawk is a messenger, but it's also about that like target, right? It's like impeccability. It's like never missing a mark, okay? And there's the intentions. Yeah, you know what your intentions truly are. You know that you're magical and mystical and you don't need permission. Okay, that's kind of what I'm getting here. What other animal do we have for Cancer? Okay, confidence. Yeah. So that's kind of what I was getting with that moonlight card. It's like you need to know that you are sitting on this gold mine here, and if someone makes you question that, they're the villain, okay? And we don't like villains on my table. So, maybe they're not, but you will know that more than me. But I didn't get the most energy, the most uplifting energy from that. The men. Okay. All right, could flip the roles if you need to, but you know what I mean. So we've got consume here, the condor, right? So this would be like somebody trying to alter your state of being, somebody trying to pick at your feet, trying to pick at your bones, trying to sort of pick away at you, right? And here's that playfulness card, which we got over there with that Heyoka, which is being alive, free, and well. Okay, so this is your goal. This is where you're headed. This is what you need. And you may have to sort of look the other way from this person who's wanting you to have a certain image of yourself and feel like you don't belong or your ways of doing things don't have a place in their business plan, something like that. Okay, putting an end to that. And it's going to have to be you that does that. So you might have to play the game a little bit. When I get this disguise card, it's kind of like, yeah, mystery, balance, and power. And there's that stillness. Yeah, so there is definitely a timeout, okay? Then we've got cunning here as well. So yeah, using your strategic brain to say, okay, see how he's got this mask on too. Wearing a mask is not always a bad thing. When we're in tricky predicaments, sometimes there's a lot at stake, right? Somebody could be power hungry here. There's a need for balance, and that's your job here. But you have to sort of fit in, it's giving like fitting into Congress in order to make global change, something like that, right? So it's like, um, having this little bit of mystery here. The black cats are also High Priestess, Queen of Wands energy. It's like they don't need to know what I'm up to. They don't need to know why I'm here. They just need to know that I am here and I'm not going anywhere. And then once you start talking is when they truly realize, like, oh, okay, there's big change coming here. They know what they're doing. They are hitting the nail on the head, right? And they're like, oh no, we can't get away with what we've been doing anymore because you've showed up with all this courage to show people that, you've been paying attention. You've been paying attention to all of these little things, and you learned what you need to learn in order to provide for yourself. It's like you've been in a business contract with somebody for a long time and you've been taking notes, right? And so if somebody says you're non-essential or what have you, you're like, interesting, interesting. Because who told you that you can tell me whether I'm essential or not when I'm the one sitting on this gold mine? Spirit has a lot of value for you here. And so, therefore, you've been gifted with a very instinctual intuition. Okay. You just have this ability to just know when something is right, when something is wrong, when something needs to move, when you need to have your eyes open, when you need to celebrate. Okay. I've got victory here. This is also about confrontation. The boars are about confrontation. Like they don't lose a fight. Okay. They would rather die than to roll over. So Spirit has gifted them strong skull, strong tusks, and they can get through just about anything here. So I think you're sort of transforming your way of approaching certain dynamics because you've been quiet for a long time here. And Spirit is saying it's time to bust out of that quiet, serene mode that you're in. Use that for your advantage here and burst out of that cage after this time that you spent, along your own energy so that you can tell people what it is that you really want, okay? And manifest that. And there's something to do with trust here. I think that goes back to, yeah, goes back to that past situation. And so now it's almost like you have to disguise yourself in order to get out of something that could turn into, well, a repeat with the family card here. So this could even be the past situation was a family or a family member that betrayed your trust, and now there's somebody else in your world that is sort of reminding you of that, the feelings that you felt when you were going through that situation, and you're deciding that you're not going to put up with that anymore, and so therefore you'll provide for yourself, and you're not going to put up with anybody's bull crap because your instinct is just too much. You're too intuitive for people here. Okay, so I'm going to pull these to put on your short reading recap, which will be up on the channel. Make sure to like the video if you made it this far. I will see you on the next one. And also, of course, subscribe because we're a pretty small community in here and I'd love to have you. All right, thanks. See you on the next one. Bye.